Okay, so Trey, first of all, thank you very much. You guys did the 6-week course. Big thing that I want to talk to you about, law enforcement guy, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Which group?
Sheriff's Office.
Sheriff's Office. Okay. For me, I feel like it's doing this kind of stuff is always good. The main reason being, like I feel like, is when you guys are going live, just getting used to the anxiety of kind of that personal conflict stuff and being able to stay calm through that stuff. So not even necessarily a lot of times the techniques, but just being to be calm through that stuff. So your thoughts with that?
This is the first type of grappling martial arts, but I've done boxing before for the same reason. The last time you want to experience something for the first time is when there's a huge risk. You don't want to be punched in the face for the first time when you're an officer or anyone when it's real. You're on the street, something bad is happening. You want to know how you're going to internalize that and how you're going to react to that.
Yeah.
What the next step is. With this, a lot of it is just knowing when I get put into a vulnerable situation that there's a way out of it. And doing it live, it gives you the opportunity to, in a controlled environment, to think through it, knowing that there's not that risk. But walk out that door and it happens. Mentally, you're there. You know that there's an opportunity to get out of it.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. For me, it's all about getting that reps underneath a little bit of anxiety. Sometimes with the kids program too, we jokingly say that it's almost kind of like micro-bullying, or where it's like, okay, just a little bit of this to where, like, so if a kid gets does get attacked, or a police officer does get attacked, we're at least a little bit aware, like we have a little bit better way of controlling that anxiety through that situation. So I think that's huge. Overall thoughts with the class? Everything go pretty well, or?
Yeah, great. Some of the instructors, different ranges of belts, different opportunities to learn different things. They're very upfront with you. They're not there telling you that they know everything in the world. They're just teaching you the fundamentals, teaching you what to fall back onto, making sure that when you're doing the moves that you're working through them. You can't win practice.
Right.
You can only get better through allowing the person that you're working with to do the maneuver and safely and correctly do it. And with the kids, I think it's great, especially with something like this, because there's a lot of defensive positions you can get into. So if a child gets picked on or whatever, and they have some of this training and they know how to get frames and they know how to get in tight, they can really mitigate a lot of those fears and the damage. Allowing for teachers or other pedestrians to come in and kind of step in for them.
Yeah, our goal with the kids is always to, like, okay, we should be, after we've done this for a while, we should be able to be good enough to where we can get on top, hold that person down until a teacher or somebody can come, so we don't have to use striking. Because the last thing that I want to have happen is, one of our kids gets hit, well, then he hits another kid, and that's what the strike that they see from the teacher, and so then it's a kind of he said, she said kind of deal. Where for us, like, I feel like if we can just take and control that child, a lot of times it's so much more debilitating as well too, like to see it mentally, where if I can hold that person down for 20 or 30 seconds, it seems a lot different compared to, like, okay, you punched me, then I punched you, and then now it seems like, okay, my next reaction off a punch is like trying to punch you back, compared to, like, okay, now I've been held down by this person for 20 or 30 seconds, I know I can't really do anything. Mentally, it feels a little bit different.
You're controlling it.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't know if you remember this, but I actually stopped in quite a few months prior to doing the beginner class. And at the time, scheduling it didn't work out, but when I walked in and I seen a room full of people doing it, I might be in law enforcement and that, but there's still a lot of anxiety with how do I jump into that. So as soon as I seen that beginner program optional, I thought that's perfect, because it's going to put me in a small section of people, a bunch of other people that are right where I'm at, zero maybe foundation for any martial arts, or a very bare minimum. And then allowing us to work one-on-one or with two instructors at sometimes. And I think that just eased a lot. So I am going to go into the full program on the full membership basis, and just where I was when I first came into where I am now, my confidence is that I can just float right into it, and I'm not going to be behind. That I'll be able to, first of all, know the lingo, know the words, which is huge, because when you say, work on frames and you've never done it, I don't want to ask questions. That's embarrassing.
Right.
So just being able to just have that experience for the last 6 weeks, get to know you guys. Everyone here has been amazing. Everyone's super polite. I think that's just the martial arts community. Everyone's here to grow. Everyone's here to just be better, and the exercise is great. I spent all day sweating, so.
She said that she was just like, I was going to push these guys to stay with all the positions. So.
Yeah, we definitely did, and that's the nice thing with this is, they work with your pace. You know,
Yeah.
they look at you and, you know, a couple of us, you know, we get a little rowdier with each other because, you know, we're both on that same level where we have that move down. So let's resist a little more, make them earn it. And then some others are maybe not as comfortable. And so even though it's one group doing the same thing,
Right.
the instructors are good at letting each person kind of pick their path as far as, you know, maybe resist them a little more, don't let them get it right away, or, you know, just let them fall into it, get the movement down, which was wonderful to be able to do that, not just get stuck on everyone does that same thing at the same pace and the same speed.
Yeah, and it's crazy too, because, you know, we've, like you said, you came in a couple months ago, and we've always done it to where it's like, okay, go ahead and try this class, you're going to go through this, you know, essentially pretty much the same beginner course almost that you guys went through, but yeah, you know, coming into a room where you're like, okay, there's 35 other people, and it's super intimidating, and you know, compared to a beginner group, it's I'm glad that we finally got it started with that, because it's been like you said, a huge help, and then just seeing it from a coaching perspective, how much better you guys were able to get in that 6 weeks compared to kind of throwing you in with the deep end before. So
yeah, no, it's been an invaluable experience. So
it's been
I mean, the cost of it's nothing compared to the knowledge that you get, and honestly, just the peace of mind, learning something and being taught well.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for coming in and talking with me for a few minutes. I'm excited to hear that you're competing, or going to be going on to the other group, because that's like law enforcement's always got like a special place where it's like, man, that I feel like we need to have as many law enforcement in here as possible, because I think that's going to be a huge help for everybody anxiety wise. So
yeah, and a lot of departments are switching to it. I've seen a lot of good results with it. So I would definitely advise everyone I know in law enforcement to get in a gym and get training to just get that mindset where they can protect themselves and not have to use a more permanent means that has, you know, worse ramifications on a human.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
Appreciate